Are you ready to unlock your inner superhero and master your skills and achieve your goals? Are you ready to level up your life by mastering unique talents and achieving your fullest potential? Have you ever wondered what you could achieve if you fully developed your unique talents to become true gifts and superpowers? Are you ready to transform your natural abilities into extraordinary superpowers? Do you want to make a bigger impact on your personal and professional life? If you've ever asked yourself these questions, then you are going to be in the right place. Today, we're going to be diving deep into that journey from potential to mastery. Every one of us has unique gifts or superpowers waiting to be developed, and this video is all about recognizing those gifts and creating a plan that you can use to develop them and ultimately using them to make a significant impact in your life and in the lives of those around you. Now, my name is Jake Talbert, and I'm the founder and chief giver over at the GIVER Method. If you're new here, welcome. Let me give you a quick breakdown. The GIVER Method is all about helping people to identify their true gifts and superpowers, to then determine who are the right people to have influence on to be intentional and impactful with their superpowers, how they then create value with those gifts and superpowers without asking for anything in return, and then how they make each engagement, interaction, discussion with those individuals as impactful as possible, as effective as possible. This allows you to then step into who it is that you were meant to be. It leads to one of the results we talked about, which is called relationship riches, which is deeper, more meaningful relationships and connections with those around you. And what I've found is that people who take their gifts and superpowers and they develop them as best they can and they give them to others without asking for anything in return, those individuals, strangely enough, the universe has a way of paying them back. Now, it may not be every single time, but it does happen time and time again. I've seen it happen so many times. And so this is your chance to invite the universe to start paying you back. This is your chance to take these talents, these skills, and develop them into true gifts and superpowers so that you can become who it is that you're meant to be. Before we dive in, of course, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and of course, comment your thoughts along the way. Your support allows us to get out in front of more people, which creates a ripple effect of positivity. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those places. Go find us, like us, say, hey, I got here from the YouTube video. That way I know people are actually listening to what I'm saying. So now let's unlock your superpowers. Let's guide you through your potential and really get you to this mastery that we're talking about. And we're going to dive through 10 steps. Now, each step we're going to cover some details, and there'll be an action item. That action item is something that you could start doing today, this week, this month, whatever it may be, to truly start developing these things. So I highly recommend you get out a piece of paper, you open a note, whatever it may be, and that you write down these action steps and you start to put down what it is that you think you're going to do. Step number 1 is that you have to identify your core strengths and superpowers. By developing your superpowers, you have to first identify what they are. You have to look at what your talents are, your skills, those things that are uniquely you. These are the things that come so naturally to you. They're the abilities and items that others often probably compliment you on. I remember a time when I didn't recognize my own talents, my own skills, my own gifts. I was so focused on improving just my weaknesses that I was overlooking these areas that I just naturally excelled. And it wasn't until I started paying attention to what energized me and what others praised me for that I began to see what my true potential is. So your action step here is that you want to create what I call as a talent inventory. And so for the next week, write down the activities that energize you, the tasks that you excel at, the things that you get compliments on. Look for any sort of patterns that start to show up in that inventory, because these are going to be clues to these unique talents, these things that are going to lead to be superpowers. Then I recommend that you reach out to 3 people that you know really, really well, and you ask them what they see as your superpowers. And look at what the overlapping patterns are from what they said compared to the list that you had, and start to create a list of what the top 3 would be for you. Don't try to compare yours to other people's, because you have a unique combination and it's what makes it special. You know, talents, they can be hard, or soft skills, from technical abilities and interpersonal skills. Sometimes our greatest talents are things we just assume everyone can do. But if you reflect on your strengths and your passions, areas of expertise, and ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing? What just comes so naturally to me? Where do I excel without much effort? Where do I lose time? You know, I could just do that forever. I could talk about it forever. These are going to be the things that point towards what it is that the talents and gifts that we could be developing into be superpowers. Step number 2 is that we have to set clear goals towards mastery. Once we truly identify what these talents are, it's time to set clear, actionable goals that we can develop further. Without a goal, it's like you're on a ship without a rudder. You might be moving forward, but not necessarily in the right direction. So your action step here is for one of these identified talents that you have, create a SMART goal, which SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And determine where you want to be with that in the next, let's say, 3 months. Break those down into weekly milestones. Break those down into maybe little actions you could be doing daily. That way you can start to work towards it. Write it down and make sure that you're reviewing it daily, because this is going to help keep you on track and moving towards that path. Goals, of course, always provide motivation and a sense of purpose when you are putting them into practice. I recommend that you be ambitious, but realistic. Stretch yourself without being like completely, crazy with what you're thinking. You don't want to set yourself up for failure. Now, you want to regularly review these. You want to celebrate any sort of milestones along the way, no matter how small they are, because that will reinforce your progress and motivates you to continue. You can use visualization, which we talk a lot about in other videos, so you can create mental images of yourself achieving your goals. That helps drive you forward and create the motivation to keep working towards achieving those goals. Step number 3 is deliberate practice for the skill that you are working to develop. To develop the talents into superpowers, you need to understand and apply the concept through deliberate practice. Now, this isn't just about putting in hours, it's about being super focused, intentional in the efforts you're doing to improve the specific thing you're trying to do, the specific aspect of your performance. So what you want to do, the action step here, is to choose one of these talents, and you can do it for all of them over time, and break it down into component skills. And create a plan. How can I practice these component skills each day? 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever that may look like for the next week. And focus on improving on those aspects each time. Seek feedback from others, how you're doing on that. Look for maybe a mentor or a coach, someone who can help you to identify these areas of improvement. Deliberate practice, of course, it involves pushing yourself beyond what your current abilities are. So things may feel uncomfortable at times, but that's part of growth. It's going to require very full concentration, super intention around this, and it's often mentally demanding. So you want to make sure that you're going back and you are, like we talked about the goals, celebrating the wins along the way. Look for those ways that you can acknowledge things that have done well. So as you start to step out of your comfort zone, as you start to see this growth happen, don't be afraid to challenge yourself to try new things as well. Step number 4 is that you have to overcome challenges and obstacles. The journey towards mastery, you're going to face challenges, and the key is how you view these obstacles, not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. So adopting a growth mindset, which I talked a lot about in my last video, moving past fear that there could be, building up resilience, learning how to bounce back from the setbacks. Because remember that every failure isn't a step backwards, it's still a step forward, it's still a step towards success. So your action step here is going to be to make a list of potential challenges you see in developing your superpowers, and develop strategies of what you could do to overcome each one. Being proactive in this way, it's going to help keep you prepared for what they are, and it's going to make you more resilient when those things come up. Realize that the point where you really start to struggle, that's where you really start to grow. That's where growth happens. So make sure that you keep going through that. Remember that failure provides valuable data on what doesn't work, bringing you closer to what does. Step 5 is continuous learning and development. Once again, talk about this growth mindset idea. Mastery, it's a continuous journey. It's never going to end. And you have to try and stay ahead. You must remain curious and always learning. Even though you may develop a gift, a superpower, really, really well and feel like you're really good at it, it is something that you should constantly be working on, constantly be trying to learn more about, or to see what others are doing that works really, really well. So stay curious, seek knowledge, whether it's reading or courses or attending workshops or, whatever, maybe watching YouTube videos. Never stop learning. Works really well if you can network with others who are passionate about what you are in similar areas, because this could open up all sorts of opportunities and provide fresh perspectives of how you could be approaching this as well. So your action step here is to identify what is it you're going to do to learn. Is it a course? Is it a workshop? Is it a book? Is it some sort of video? And commit to engaging in that this month and apply what you learn. And maybe the actual action step is for you to research those things. Maybe you don't know where you could go learn them. I always recommend that you could always get a good mentor. They help you to avoid common pitfalls and help you to accelerate your process. Don't ever be afraid to reach out to experts. Many are willing to share their knowledge. Many of them are givers themselves and want to share and give of their superpowers to you as well. And of course, always be open to the feedback when it's when you have a challenge that you're trying to come to. That feedback, it's not an attack, it's nothing against you, it's truthfully can be feedback, both positive and negative, and it gives you that chance to review it, reflect on it, and determine how you're going to change moving forward. Step 6 is applying your superpowers in the real world. So to truly develop a talent, a gift, or whatever, a skill into a superpower, you have to apply it in real world situations. You can't just be, theoretical on it. This provides so much more like contextual learning and helps you to refine your skills. Real world application often reveals aspects of the talent that you can't discover and practice on your own. So start small and gradually take on bigger challenges as your confidence grows. So your action step here is to find or create opportunity to use your developing superpower in real world context. This could be volunteering, it could be a project at work, it could be offering services to friends or family, whatever the thing may be. Look for the ways that you can combine your developing superpower with other skills for unique situations to be creative in how you're problem solving things. And of course, practice and experiment with different approaches to see what works best. Do not be afraid to try new things. Step 7 is all about building confidence and self-belief. So if we want to master our superpowers, you have to believe in yourself. Confidence is not something that you are born with. It's something that you have to build up. You have to challenge the negative thoughts that are in your head. You can go back and watch the last video. I talked all about fear and imposter syndrome and all these things. We're going to talk more about imposter syndrome in a bit. And really how you combat those negative thoughts that get into your head. So challenge them and replace them with better thoughts. We talk about how do you put the yet word in there? I don't know how to do that yet. I can't do that yet. Just add that yet word. It shows that you're in this growth mindset. And of course, as you are growing, celebrate every achievement along the way. Every step that you celebrate is going to build your confidence. Now, you want to surround yourself with positive influences where you can, people who can uplift you. So action step here is to start a gratitude or achievement journal. Write down the things that you're grateful for each day. Write down one achievement you did, no matter how big or small it could be. This is going to help you to focus on your progress. It's going to help focus on building up your confidence. Step 8 is all about overcoming imposter syndrome. Even as you develop your superpowers, you may face that self-doubt or imposter syndrome, feeling like you're not ready, you're not ready enough, you're not good enough. Despite the evidence that could be contrary, you feel uncomfortable stepping into a room with individuals and trying to show your superpower because you're afraid of what they're going to think of you. Like, who's this person trying to do that? So recognizing imposter syndrome for what it is, it's just a mental barrier, and it doesn't actually reflect on what your true abilities are. So challenge these thoughts by reflecting on the achievements and the effort that you've put in to get there. Your action step here is you got to look for support. Who are the people around you? Friends, family, it could be a support group, it could be an online community where you can share your experiences, where you can talk about imposter syndrome with them and identify what are things they've done to get past that. Gain strength from the stories that you share and the stories that they share with you. Remember that even the highly successful people often experience imposter syndrome. I stepped into a room of people that I looked at as people I look up to, people doing better in business than me, people who I've followed over the years. I attend their events, things like that. I stepped into the room like, I don't belong here. And then over time realizing that, well, I actually coach the person that they're all there to meet with. They think he's the expert, and I'm coaching him. And so it started to help me to work through that. And then I realized that everybody in that room, even the most popular people and famous people that were in the room, they all talked about how they experienced imposter syndrome. At one of the days they said at breakfast, everyone here has experienced imposter syndrome, raise your hand. Everyone in the room's hands went up. So every person, no matter how successful they are, they will experience that if they are on this path of growth. Step number 9 is inspiring others. One of the best ways you can really solidify your mastery and continue to grow is to teach others. It's why we start with the book, The GIVER Method, and the second book we're coming out with is going to be called Impact Makers. Like when you explain your superpower to someone else, when you help them to build up who they are, you deepen your own understanding of it. Teaching it to others and trying to get them to be inspired by it, it forces you to organize the knowledge in new ways and often leading to different insights. Sharing your journey can inspire others to develop, their own superpowers. So one thing you want to do is be really honest about your learning process. Share what your struggles were. Where were you at? Being that vulnerable, it is so valuable in building up others and then being able to see that you went through those struggles and got to where you are. So remember, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect at it right now. You can start sharing things right now. teach from where you are now, and it only makes you improve. When I started working on the GIVER method, I did research galore. I started writing stuff, and it wasn't until I started talking more about it and trying to teach it and get in front of people that I was able to actually formulate that into stuff that ended up becoming the book. The action item here is going to be to find ways for you to share your superpower with others, whatever that may look like. That could be through blog or video, YouTube, whatever it may be. It could be mentoring someone. It could be giving a presentation of your skills. Whatever that may look like, take the time to teach somebody else your superpower, and you'll see how much more it helps you to develop and master your own. And step 10, of course, is never ever give up. Do not give up. Persistence is key. The journey to mastery, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not a destination, it is a journey that you continue to go on. You are going to face setbacks, and what's more important is that you stay committed. I always tell people, and I always end these videos where I say, I believe in you, I need you to believe in you. I need you to keep going, because the universe is waiting for you to step into who it is that you're meant to be. So believe in yourself. It's going to be so fundamental. You have to trust that you have what it takes to achieve your dreams. Enjoy the journey as you go. Focus on the process of growth and development, not just the end result that you're going for. So your action item here is going to be create a vision board that visualizes your goals, your dreams, your milestones, and put it somewhere where it is so visible that you can't help but see it daily. You can't help but see it as much as possible to help you keep you motivated and keep you focused on the journey that's ahead. As we've mentioned before, every successful person has faced failures and setbacks in their own life, and the difference is how they responded to it. Persistence often makes the difference between those who can achieve mastery and those who don't. To sum this all up, developing your talents into superpowers is a journey that's going to require dedication and consistency, and a willingness to embrace changes and challenges that come. Remember, it's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, stepping into who it is that the universe meant you to be. So you need to identify those talents, set clear goals, engage in practicing it, overcome challenges. You have to keep learning and applying these skills into real life scenarios. It's going to help you to build confidence, overcome that imposter syndrome. You want to inspire others, all of those things. You're not just developing your own personal superpowers. You're creating the potential for an extraordinary impact in your world and the world around you, and who knows how far that ripple effect will go. Your superpowers are uniquely you. No one else has the same combination of background, history, story, development of their superpowers. So they are the special sauce. It's what makes you up. So don't compare your journey to others. Focus on your own journey, your own growth, and the value that you can create. And as you develop your own superpowers, you're going to find ways that you can contribute, to create, to make a positive impact. Remember that with great power comes great responsibility. So use your superpowers to lift others up, make the world a better place. As you do that, give without asking for anything in return, and invite the universe to pay you back. If you want to start looking into how you can dive deeper into that, you can go to thegivermethod.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can get on the notification list for when the book gets released, so that way you get access to it early. You can check out all the other ways that we can help you, different services, how to book us for podcast speaking, all those sorts of things. I highly recommend that you get on the newsletter, though, so you can get those updates and insights and tips for your journey. Do not miss out on this chance to start developing your own superpowers and living a life of purpose and fulfillment and making that greater impact. So go to thegivermethod.com. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when we're on. Once again, find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you find us there, leave a comment saying, hey, I'm from YouTube, and let me know that this is actually working. Until next time, of course, keep growing, keep giving, keep working to make a difference in your world. I believe in you. I want you to believe in you. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you on the next video.